1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. The role, work, and qualifications of elders. As the title suggests, this lesson will briefly look at what type of men should have the important responsibility of church leadership. Now that Paul has thought on the subject of the proper role of men and women in the church, he goes on to describe the qualifications necessary for leadership in the same body. He begins by teaching that men, not women, are to aspire to spiritual leadership in the body of Christ, and defines the character of those few who will fulfill that position in the assembly. This is a faithful saying. If a man desires the position of a bishop, he desires a good work. Paul begins by commending those who will seek leadership roles in the church. To have this desire is good, he says, and the position itself is a good thing to want. It is a good ambition. Paul states that to want to serve as a leader in the church is not necessarily motivated by pride. It is a good and legitimate desire to want to lead God's people. To desire means to reach out for. The first qualification of an elder is the desire to serve in this role. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, temperate, sober-minded, of good behavior, hospitable, able to teach. Paul now describes the attributes of those who are in leadership position in the church, and will start with positive characteristics. Blameless or above reproach. This term does not mean that this person is without sin, but rather a man who has made right, to the best of his abilities, the things that are wrong in his life, so that those matters cannot be charged to him again. He now lives in such a way that he will not cause shame to himself or to the church. The husband of one wife. Paul is referring to this person's attitude and not to his legal status. The term husband of one wife, therefore, eliminates polygamist and also speaks to his faithfulness as a husband. Temperate, a person who is not easily influenced by every new idea or carried away by emotion. Sober-minded, also translated as prudent. This person has a balanced sense of judgment, is self-controlled and careful. Good behavior. His behavior is consistent and diligent, and his conduct inspires respect from others. Hospitable. This quality of character refers not only to the generous offering of food and lodging to strangers, but also describes a person who accepted those of different cultures, ideas, and backgrounds with grace and kindness. Able to teach. It does not necessarily mean that one had to be a good public speaker or academic to lead. Many simple persons of limited education have a gift for communicating with others in a way that enables them to understand clearly the things of God. Not given to wine, not violent, not greedy for money, but gentle, not quarrelsome, not covetous. Not given to wine. This verse means that an elder is not addicted to wine or to any other thing for that matter. Not violent. Someone who is aggressive or verbally abusive cannot and should not lead in the church. Not greedy for money. A person who does not judge everything based on money. Someone who is not addicted to making, spending, or saving money at all times. Gentle. A person who can be flexible, considerate of the views of others, yielding and not authoritarian. Not quarrelsome or peaceable. Elders bring and maintain peace and harmony, not trouble in the church. One who rules his own house well, having his children in submission with all reverence. For if a man does not know how to rule his own house, how will he take care of the church of God? A well-managed home, keeping his children under control and respectful of his leadership in the home, are priorities for an elder. The true test for a good church leader is not if he is rich or successful in business. There is no mention of this in the Bible. The true test is how he has led and managed his home. One who does a good job at home can be expected to do a good job with God's family, which is the church. Not a novice, lest being puffed up with pride, he fall into the same condemnation as the devil. Not a new convert, a man with experience being a Christian, since leaders are often attacked by Satan in many ways. Unfortunately, when a leader in the church falls, he often brings many souls with him. The caution is that the inexperienced elder who falls because of pride will receive the same judgment as Satan, who also fell because of pride. Moreover, he must have a good testimony among those who are outside, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Good reputation outside the church. The elder represents the church, so any accusation against him also falls on the church as well. If the elder is disgraced because of his reputation, he can be used as a pawn in Satan's effort to discredit the entire church. The role, work, and qualifications of elders. There are other qualities mentioned in the letter Paul wrote to Titus, but these are the ones Paul describes here to Timothy. This is not an exhaustive list because we could add honesty or kindness or loving, but a snapshot of the type of person who should fill the role of elder in the church. Note that these qualifications, except for that of being a man and married, are all qualities of character and thus subjective in nature. This often makes the selection of one person over another a challenge, because the church has to make a value judgment in choosing the best person for the job. This is all for now. I hope you join us in our next video, where Paul will teach about the way elders are chosen and appointed. Thank you for your time. May God richly bless you.